Presented by Stand Up at the House, the quarantine edition. Let's go ahead and do the thing. Let's add smoke in. All right. Bring my man in real quick. So let me see here. Let me get it. Let me get smoke. So if smoke is on, man, what I need you to do, I need you to request that you add me in, that I can add you into the live, man, so we can get this conversation going. I see you on there, smoke. Go ahead and put that request in, so I can add you in, so we can bring you on and make this thing blow up tonight. Again, man, I got one of the funniest comedians from BET's Comic View, Bad Boys of Comedy, which is presented by P. Diddy. That was on HBO. So, just to let y'all know, man, I'm bringing my man in. I'm about to bring him in right now. And we're going to do it live, man. On IG. So make sure that y'all stay tuned. And we're going to do that thing right. All right? Make sure y'all stay tuned. All right. So welcome my man, comedian Smoke from BET's Comic View. You know what I'm saying? Grandstand, Def Comedy Jam. My man Bad Boys of Comedy with P. Diddy. Come on, man. This man been around for years, man. He got the Atlanta Falcons, man. What the hell are you doing with the Atlanta Falcons gear? What is the Atlanta Falcons gear doing on there, man? They doing some things, man, but Atlanta got to quit. Hilarious, man. What's going on? Smoke is ready to do it.
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Hold on, let me get this volume up here. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to get the volume up.
Yeah, that's what I was making sure I can hear.
Hold on, let me see. I don't know what this thing. Oh, I got it. There we go. How we at now?
What's good?
What's good with you, man? What's happening with you, man?
Nothing to do it, man. Just holding it down, man. Waiting on you.
Oh, that's what's up, man. It's good to have you on, man. Right here at the Stand Up at the House presents Stand Up Avenue podcast, the quarantine edition, man. You know how we do it. We bring the funniest people in the world, man. You definitely one of the legends, man, that I feel. Because guess what? I'm a believer in giving people flowers, right? Right while they living. You know what I'm saying? Because we all want a long life. And we all want to get flowers. You know what I'm saying? So just like I say, man, I give you your flowers, man. You're one of the funniest brothers around, bro. Comedian
hey, man.
has joined the show.
Appreciate it.
Man, yeah. I'm glad to have you, man. So, man, tell the audience, man, a little bit about you, where you from, how you got into comedy. But we're going to get to the comedy part, but we like to get to you first because you are before the comedy, right? So
that's right.
Where you from, man?
Well, born in Atlanta at Shady Grady. Okay. But I grew up down here in Macon, you know what I'm saying? So Macon really is my hometown, you know what I'm saying? But hey, just was born up the road. But my biological father always lived in Atlanta, so I was back and forth as a kid all my life.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I used to come to Atlanta and go to summer camp and then come back home.
That's over going to summer camp. You have money.
Yeah, me and my brother. Yeah, me and my brother used to do that. So
so you didn't grow up in the hood. You had summer camp every damn summer. We just went from our house, okay? That's what we went.
Still had peanut butter sandwiches.
Huh?
We're still peanut butter sandwiches, nigga.
Man, you know what, Smoke, man? When I first got in the game, I started in Atlanta. I started at 559, right on the Bruce. Every Tuesday night, packed out. You know what it was about, man. Wasn't them the good old days?
As a comedian, you should have had to go through 559 before you start getting paid.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. You go through there, Bruce will pay you to get booed. He didn't care. He paid every comedian that walked through that door.
He ain't have to pay me. He ain't have to pay me. Oh no. All he had to do is get ready to call my name, nigga, and here it come.
There it is. And look, everybody know Bruce called your name as soon as you walked at the door. He walked
it's over.
The door. He like, man, Wise, all right, you next, and go get the DJ your music.
I'm talking about you ain't even. You just got in there to see the first person. You made what?
Man,
So tell me about, man. I know Earthquake was one of the pioneers here, and he started Comedy Corner, Uptown, of course, which
Right.
was huge, and he had one on Memorial Drive. And I know you came along during that era. So
Right.
tell us a little bit. How was it coming in to that era, man? I mean, how was that?
Well, I have to say, man, my career, I came in a little bit different than most comedians. You know what I'm saying? Cause see, when I came in, I hit Atlanta. I was coming from Macon with a manager with Al Tillman. You know Al, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah. Big shout
yeah,
out
yeah,
to
yeah,
Al
yeah,
Tillman for sure.
yeah, definitely, man. He done a lot for the comedy
Tigger
game. You know what I'm saying?
Entertainment.
So,
Tigger Entertainment, right?
yes, sir. Tiger Entertainment, yes, sir. Still number one too, boy. You hear me?
Hell yeah.
So yeah, so check one. So Al brought me to Atlanta, man, and what happened is I started hitting the clubs and getting, spots early,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of comedians had been living in Atlanta, working those stages, and hadn't gotten the
Yup.
opportunity to perform at Uptown because you know how important that was, to be able to get on that
Right
stage.
on.
And being a young buck in the game, at that time, man, Earthquake and Chris and Bruce and most of them, they were in front of me, but we were right behind them. You know what I'm saying?
So
They
you
was
was
just getting ready.
around when the Comedy Act was still there on P Street
Oh yeah, yeah, Combat Theater, yeah, the original, yeah, yeah,
with Mike
yeah, Duke
Williams. Shout out to
Brown,
Mike Williams.
chocolate. Yeah, Doodoo Brown Chocolate, Small Fry, everybody, they were hot then. You know what I'm saying? I was watching them, but because I came in with a little bit of professionalism, having a manager, it took me a little further, a little faster. So, and I, it was no disrespect to the comics in the ATL at the time, because I came up from Macon,
Right.
and just was getting staged. They, I know people had attitudes with me about that, but like
Hmm.
I say, young in the game, I ain't know what I was doing. I ain't know I was stepping on nobody's toes. I was just like everybody else, want to get on stage. You know what I mean?
But see, you came
So,
in on the business side because you came in with management, so you was able to.
right,
Your manager was able to call the clubs and get you slipped in. They like,
right.
who is this dude? Who's this nigga popping up? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, right. Everybody, what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say who it was. I don't, specifically know names, but I can understand that rubbing, Atlanta comics the wrong way when I first came up here until I got to know everybody and work with everybody and everything leveled out. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody kind of started working with Al, which is how I kind of got friends with a lot of people because of Al putting shows together for all of us all the time.
Right, right.
So we toured. Yeah, we killed the Southeast forever. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, the thing
East
is,
Coast.
man, Al was so instrumental to your career, I know, because I
Yeah,
remember seeing you. I don't know if you remember, but in Albany, Georgia, when Al would put together the shows with you, the Bell Crawford, all them cats come
yeah.
in and do the same Civic Center
Brother.
in Albany, or he would do the Coliseum in Macon and have that big competition. So he had you in the mix. Was he? Were you one of his
That's what it
first?
was.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. I kind of came in. I mean, I can tell you one thing. It don't matter how funny or well, let's just say who putting you where. If
Mhm.
you ain't gonna funny, you ain't gonna hold that position long. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
real shit.
So I'm just saying, being a little funny, I was able to perform with them guys. Them guys made me better really, really fast because they was already heavy hitters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Al was throwing me on shows with Bernie Mac, throwing me on shows with all these big old people, man. And I was like, whoa, I was glad to be hitting the stage,
Oh,
but I had to bring it too.
hell yeah.
So it kept me real hungry all the time and early.
Right
And
on.
then once I started learning the game and filling it out with everybody else and learning how to get on the road and get shows all over the country,
Hmm.
it kind of filled out like that.
Damn. So, I mean, you was getting on these big shows. Were they an influence? Because I know a lot of people that watch the videos. Once I put them on Instagram, I always have questions of your stage presence is one of the things that stuck out to me. How you would deliver a joke. Your presence first when you walk on stage. Before you even say anything out of your mouth, the crowd got to know you funny. And that's before you
Yeah,
say anything. And I've seen that you
yeah.
would wear your suits, you come out, you buck your eyes, you like, what's up, everybody? I mean, you command the stage. Where did that come from? Who inspired that for you to even hit the stage with that kind of mentality so early in your career?
I have to say, old Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac, Richard Pryor was my twist to comedy. It's my format, if you want to say. Those are the two comedians I kind of intertwined, and what I'll say by that is Richard Pryor. I kind of came with the storytelling jokes, but they got to be hilarious. You ain't about to tell no long story that ain't gonna be funny. You know, it got to be funny. So that's kind of where my style of comedy came from the Richard Pryor style of the storytelling. But the voice command came from Bernie Mac. Because I saw when he got on stage, man, he got up there and started talking hard and loud and telling these folks, basically, it wasn't the exact words, but basically, look, motherfucker, be quiet. I'm going to tell these jokes and y'all going to goddamn laugh at them. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was.
You gonna laugh at, like you just said. He said, I'm going to tell these jokes and y'all going to motherfucker laugh at them. You know what I mean?
That's right.
He would come in command, and that's one thing I noticed about you. I started in 1998. So when I was in the game, you was already, that was your first time shooting Comic View. And we're going to get into that because definitely when you, Dan and Green, I don't know if you know Dan and Green, Black Casper, y'all were Dan and Green. You remember Dan and Green?
Danny Green.
Yeah, Dan and Green. Not the basketball player Dan and Green, the comedian Dan and Green. Y'all kind of all shot around the same time. When y'all was doing the 30-minute grandstands from a competition. Once you win the competition, you got to do a 30-minute special. So talk about that kind of, because I know that you was considered to be you got so hot, you was considered to be the host of Comic View, that you was in the runnings to be the host. So kind of back up and start from the beginning when you got selected, because the rumor is Al put together tapes from Atlanta of the performers from that. Yeah, it was like the Bob Sumner of the Southeast.
Yeah, he was basically the person that put everybody on Comic View for 98. I can at least say for at least 3 years, maybe 4 years he did that. But yeah, my first year on Comic View was in 98, and that was in LA where we taped, and who was the host then?
I think 98. It was it? Dang.
That was what's his name?
Was it Gary?
He only hosts one.
Was it Lester Berry?
Lester Berry.
Yeah.
Lester Berry.
Lester Berry too. The next year.
Yeah. Yeah. So that year, the way they did the grandstands is, I think it was like I guess I think they picked the best comics or the funniest comics from the season and did this way. And that was my first year, and I got a half-hour special my first year, and I had to fly back to LA, basically in the beginning of '99 to tape the grandstands.
Right on.
Yeah. So
so they were just calling. How many comedians did they call for the grandstand?
I think it was maybe like 10, maybe 15. It wasn't that many. Maybe 20. It was an even number, somewhere like that, 15, 20. Like that. And I know Cat Williams taped that year. And that was the year he did it. He had the cowboy hat on the bar stool,
Yeah, that was because he was talking about a pimp pulling up on his hoe or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Cat, man. Because back then it was called Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, exactly. And that was actually that was the last year they did half-hour grandstands too.
So it was. And I mean, from there, man, it's just that was a thing for us. So how did things change after, I know we kind of how did things change after that as far as your shows popping in? Did you get requested a lot for different shows to be going all around the country or on tours?
Yeah, man, it started picking up. Comic View definitely helped everybody, you know what I'm saying, man? Because I forgot I was famous when it first started happening, you know what I'm saying? You walking around, people just looking at you. I'm like, what the hell are you looking at? Oh, I forgot I was on Comic View last night.
Right. I seen you on Comic View last night, man. You was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm like, ain't you that dude from Comic View? I'm like, yeah. Oh, that's why you were looking at me. Okay. So it was like that a lot from the beginning. But you mentioned about the hosting thing. But yeah, it was that same year, '98, after we got the grandstands and everything. Right. I was up for hosting that next year. But that was the year Comic View decided to show versatility, and I think Gary Owen got it that year.
And I know there was a strike that went on. You know,
Yeah, that's
you know,
what I am too.
because
Yeah.
we was getting paid $150 to shoot at the time.
Everybody didn't know it, but they thought we were getting paid, didn't
Hey,
they?
they thought we was the hottest rappers out at that time. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
people just thought we was richest rap artists at that time, man. Because
that's it.
we was on
It
Comic View just as much as the music videos was. Remember that?
yeah, we were doing. Yeah, we had some hot singles out there,
Oh, we
didn't
had some
we?
hot singles like a mug, man. But one thing I can say, you know, you grind at the beginning, and that was our outlet. That was our opportunity because it wasn't Def
Yeah.
Jam around or nothing like that. And then all of a sudden, we popped in Comic View Center. So would you say that got you into the different comedy clubs and got you on tours? And
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, along with other comedians, you know how we passed the phone numbers and contacts and all that networking we did, we had to do that to really keep each other working, because there wasn't a lot of outlets for black comedians, and it was hard to get into mainstream clubs like it still is.
right,
So, all that worked out for us. We used to stay on the road 2, 3 weeks at a time in a car, man, just traveling back and forth, Alabama, South Carolina, everywhere. Wherever they had that money at, we was on the way,
on
baby.
the way to get it. And most of the Southeast, you know, from Mississippi, because I remember, I don't know if you remember, I took you to Mississippi that time, to
All
Jackson.
right.
And we went and did
Yeah.
one of the spots of he directed a band at Callaway High School, and he hired us. Him and his daughter hired us to come to the club. But I mean,
That's right.
going through
It
the
ain't, hey, but I was gonna say, but it ain't all being, peaches and cream.
no, no, man,
We done had them shows where when nobody at the club, this man ain't got all the money,
right. Speaking of that,
you
tell
know.
us your worst experience, man. I well, because
Oh
those
my
are
goodness,
funny.
let me
They
see.
funny later. So
They're funny later. At that time, you know what I'm saying? It's about time to catch a charge.
right, right.
But yeah, one of the worst times, man, we was I think we was in South Carolina, man. It was me and Shawty.
Yeah.
I think Squirt was with us.
Were very funny. They two cousins,
Um,
him and Shorty Shorty. A lot of people don't know that.
it was a couple more comedians with him. Mac Boosie might have been with us. It was about five of us, right? Man, this dude didn't have the money.
What was y'all?
But South Carolina.
Uh,
And dude had gave us half, but when we got there, he ain't had the other half. And he kept telling us he's gonna get it to us, by the end of the show, you know. And so we gotta go ahead and do the show to get paid. You know what I mean?
right.
So everybody gonna do they show, we see it ain't hardly nobody there. Dude talking about he still gonna have the money. Man, got to the last comedian, man, and everybody getting around and finished up the show, man. This dude done dipped out and left.
Hell no.
What?
And what happened after that?
So we went back to the hotel and took everything that wasn't nailed to the floor.
Hell no. That's what I'm. You got to, man. I mean, it's
Hey, I ain't trying to throw shot under the bus, but boy, we filled them sinks and tubs up too and let him run over. He might have had, he paid for that show. Don't worry.
oh, I already know. And see, that's the thing. They don't understand. A lot of people don't understand the business where you run into janky promoters or you show up and they might be like, "Hey, man, I don't know what to
Yeah,
say, man, but we promoted, and they only promoted the day of the show." I'm like,
but they
dude,
don't.
you got to do way more promotions than that, especially in these small towns. Or they might say, "Well, it's been raining all week. Don't nobody give a damn about
Yeah,
that."
that's right. I mean, then they act like, because we've been on TV and we make money or whatever the case you want to call it, like we can do without that 1,000 or that 500 or whatever you ain't gonna pay us. No, we can't do without that. We need that too.
Right. Well,
So
and that's the thing, man. But we have those moments. Now, have you had a time? A lot of comedians don't want to admit, but have you ever had a time where you got booed in front of a big crowd? Because I know I have.
oh yeah, man. Hey, I don't know why the comedians gonna act like they ain't never got booed. Come on, man. We just got through talking about 559.
Right, right. That
I
was the
mean, don't,
main place I
hey,
got booed.
before Bruce could say snuff, them niggas were boo. It was already coming,
Man, they was born before I got to the stage, bruh. I
and
mean,
that was the women.
yeah. That was the women.
The niggas ain't started booing yet.
So let me ask you this,
But
man.
yeah, man. But yeah, man. I done had one of them shows, man, where the booze come in. Well, It's because the club ain't organized for comedy most of the time.
Right.
You know, they letting them talk. The sound system ain't covering the whole club. You know what I'm saying? And the people can't really hear you. You know, and then that'll just make people disinterested in listening to the show. So, you know, I'm doing the show, man. You know, I'm coming up there trying to use my Bernie Mac. I'm using Bernie Mac voice and my voice.
How did you do the Bernie Mac voice? What did you do on the Bernie Mac voice?
Hey, you motherfucker. What? Hey, I came in there to cuss about like I was gonna whoop everybody's ass if they ain't be quiet and listen to my damn jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, them motherfuckers didn't want to hear that shit. You hear me? Got up there. I got up there, man. I'm telling them, hey, what's happening? Y'all, what's happening, brother? What's happening? Nigga looking at me. Nothing happening. Tell some jokes, nigga. I said, I'm finna tell some jokes, nigga. We just need you to be quiet. We can't nobody hear the jokes if you gonna talk all this. Motherfucker, be funny. Boy, these people didn't want to hear that shit. You hear me?
Hell no. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. When you done, do you ever feel like you owe the promoter money?
What? Hey, you talking about a nigga ready to go?
Right.
You talking about a nigga?
But like, hey, man,
hey, don't you like this?
No, I'm going back to the room, man. Hilarious.
Hey, man, them motherfucker came in and swooped my ass up like this right here, nigga. We just floated on off stage, you know what I'm saying?
That is fun. Let me ask you this, man, because as a comic, we all have our regimens that we do before the show. But right before you go on, what is that feeling like for you? Because I know for me, it's more of the whole set is running through my head, and then but then it all goes out the door right before the host called my name. But what is there like a ritual you go through?